Hello again, and as always, thank you for taking the time to watch the videos we compose based on safety, maintenance, and company best practices. We're going to switch directions a little bit today and introduce Andrew Stanglin, who's taking the lead with some of our safety initiatives. Today we're going to focus on pumping off beet heat, and as you'll hear Andrew note in the video, once you learn to pump off beet heat, you have pretty much already learned to pump any of our asphalt products. So let's jump right into the video and take it away, Andrew.
Got a beet heat trailer hooked up today, so that's kind of the process we're going to go through. It's the easiest and safest, but also once you can pump off beet heat, you can pump off anything. So the process is all the same regardless of the product involved. So we're going to pretend like we backed up and we're here at our facility. When getting to the facility, the first thing that I do is I blow the bags on my trailer. And this will happen in one of many different ways depending on which trailer you've got. This one is just a valve right here that we pull out and the trailer releases the air. The next thing we do is we walk all the way around our trailer, because now we're going to go up top and we're going to make sure our lid is open. Okay, so now that we've unscrewed our lid, we open it up and we insert the tab like this. And what that does is it allows the trailer to continue venting itself while you pump off. All right, so my next procedure from here is I start getting my hoses hooked up. I always start with the hoses that go to the receiving facility. And since we're doing beet heat today, that's going to be this lovely little 2-inch hose. For sake of simplicity, I'm going to pretend like we're pulling it off the passenger side, although depending on the placement of the tank, it can come off of either side. These are brand new caps, and so they still have the cotter pins for retention. We like that, that's wonderful. It means that your caps aren't going to fall off while you're driving. So we get the top open, and now we're going to open up the bottom. Be careful, because no matter how well the pump has drained, there's almost always some juice in it. Although this one's brand new, so it's obviously dry as a bone. For beet heat, you want your 3-to-2 adapter, which goes on your outflow. And then go back to your cotter pins and put them in the ears. Just like that. All right, your next step is to connect your hose to the 2-inch outlet. And we'll get some cotter pins in there. Now, not every trailer is going to have an adequate number of cotter pins. If you don't have enough cotter pins, you can use bungee cords. Brad also has 3-inch red plastic clips, and there are also Velcro straps to put around the ears to keep it closed. Now once you're here, connect the other end to your receiving tank. So our next step is to get our supply line. Sometimes with these, because of the weight of the hose, you need to push up to get that top ear to click. And now we've got the bottom one as well. All right, so we've got our line from the trailer into the top of the pump. The top of the pump is always in. We've got the line from the bottom of the pump to our receiving tank. Bottom of the pump is always out. So from here, our next step is to go and look at our receiving tank. Now in this instance, since our receiving tank is simulated, we're gonna pretend that we've looked at it and that it is completely empty, and we're gonna go ahead and open the valve. If there were any product in it, we would leave the valve closed for the time being. So our next step from here is we're gonna go turn the truck on and turn on our PTO, which will start our pump. So, all right, so we are now here to start our truck, and just do so as we usually do. Turn the key on, let it cycle through its check system. And when it sneezes at you, it's good to start. Once the truck is running, you will want to turn on the PTO. In this particular truck, it is PTO 1. That does vary from truck to truck. But you will pop the button and look at the dash and make sure the indicator light is on. It's the little orange four-wheel drive looking thingy there. And we're listening for vacuum. We've got the bleeder valve open, and obviously you can hear that there's really good vacuum on there. So since we've got good vacuum, close your bleeder, and open your tank and fire and forget, baby. And we just finished pumping. Our trailer is now empty. The easiest way to tell is because this hose is jumping. What it's doing is there's product trapped in here, and it's sucking air bubbles through it, and that's what's causing it to jump like that. So from here, our next step is to close our valve, open our bleeder, drain our supply line from the trailer, and allow it to run for 30 to 40 seconds. What this does is it ensures that it gets enough air pressure to blow all the product out the line, so that when we close the receiving tank, there's as little product left in the lines as possible. So I'm now going to go close that receiving tank and come back and shut off my pump. And now that we're all empty and everything is nice and, I'm gonna say, dry, we do our breakdown, which is the reverse of our setup. Now, I personally prefer to take the top hose off first. And cap it. And that way it's out of my way and I don't have to mess with it while I'm dealing with the bottom stuff. All right, now from here, I will remove all of our cotter pins, take off our 2-inch line, and since we're only using one here, I'll just throw it right back in the truck. I will pull off my 3-to-2 adapter, and there is a little bit of product in there. I normally don't worry too much about leaving some in the pump. Over my years of doing this, I've found that it is frequently beneficial to have a gallon or 2 of liquid ice melt floating around, easily available to use. Just saying. Get your cotter pins back in. Top cap. Make sure you take your 322 adapter with you. This is gold. You'll want to carry 2 of these for Beet Heet, because many facilities will only have a 3-inch inlet, so you have to go down to 2 and then back up to 3. Carry 2 of these. Our final thing before we go, and I like to do it this way because walking from the passenger side to the ladder, up the ladder to close the lid, and then around behind the trailer allows me to go around it one final time and get my eyes on everything. Since I've got everything shut down, obviously I can't see any lights, but we should have checked those this morning. When we pick this up, valve goes back in, trailer comes up. Now we go find somebody to sign our paperwork.
Thank you again for taking time to watch this video. We hope it was extremely informative, and as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Andrew. Thanks again.